Hey everybody, I wanted to take a minute here to make sure you're understanding how to save files to your memory stick because it can be a little confusing the first few times. The first thing I want to look at is go here to My Computers, and so I open this by hitting the floating window on the last line of your keyboard. Hold that floating window down and hit the letter E as in Edward. It's going to bring up this window with all of your drives and your memory stick. So here my memory stick is named Billing. I've hit the plus sign and made it a minus sign so it will show me all the subfolders. I have a subfolder under my memory stick called CISA 101. I've named it 01 so that it'll be at the very top of all of these folders. If I had named it just CISA 101, it would be down here between right before CWI and BSU, which is fine if you can find it there, but I just wanted it to be at the top. So anytime you put numbers in front, you can organize instead of using the alpha order from the name of the folder. So I've got my folder ready and I've got my memory stick ready. It's in the machine. I'm going to click over here to a document. And let's say I was working on this document and I was done. I'm just going to write here, this is a sample document. Okay. And I'm going to save it. So you have a couple different ways you can do it. I like hitting F12 because that's save. It's save as actually. There's two different versions. You can do save or save as. Save as is the no matter what you do, the first time you save a document, it defaults to save as because the computer doesn't know where you want to save it or what you want to call it or what file type you want to put it in. So even if I hit save or save as the first time, it doesn't matter. It'll always be save as. In this case, I want to first navigate to the place where I'm going to save it. So I'm not going to save it in my documents, especially not on a lab computer, because that's the C drive and it'll be erased anytime the lab computer is restarted. So I'm going to drop this down and I'm going to look for my memory stick here. Now here I can see all the folders on my memory stick. I also could have selected My Computer, which would shows all the drives. Either way, whichever way you want to go in. I'm going to double click here on my memory stick, and you can double click on the name, but sometimes when you do that it thinks you want to rename it. That time it didn't. It worked, which is nice, but I always try to double click actually on the little icon, and that will go into the drive. So here I am, I'm in my memory stick, I've got my folders. I want to save the document into this folder, so I'll double click again on the folder. And this is empty, meaning there's no other Word documents in that folder right now. So here it suggested a title for me, and I'm not going to actually call it that, but I am going to call it Sample. And then Save as Type. You could save a Word document as all of these other types, which you can also save it as a PDF or lots of different options. But this rich text format is called RTF. And that is one step up from plain text. Plain text is just your Courier 11. There's no special bolding or underline. It keeps nothing but just the letters. Rich text keeps a little bit more than that. I believe it keeps like bold and underline, but not much more. So those are, if you needed to send like a stripped down version of your document somewhere, you could send that. Someone was going to import it into a different kind of software and like lay it out in a publisher file or something like that. They might want a cheaper version or a generic version of the actual words on your page, which would be the rich text or the plain text. While we're here, I'll explain PDFs are a little different. PDF is like a snapshot, so it basically takes a picture of your document. You can't edit it or change it. And so PDFs are helpful if you're sending a document to somebody, a Word document to someone who doesn't own Microsoft Word. They won't be able to open a Word document. They should be able to open a PDF. PDFs are shown in a program called Adobe Acrobat, which is Adobe Reader, excuse me, and that is a free piece of software. Anybody can have it. Most computers already have a version of it loaded, and they can read a PDF. So PDFs are just more universal. Anybody can usually read a PDF. Okay, for our class, we're going to save it as a Word document. And this here means Word document version 2007. I could save it as an older version. Sometimes I do that if I have documents and I'm not sure students have the newest version of Microsoft Word. I'll save it as an older version just to make sure that they can open it on their home computers. But quite honestly, I'm almost never doing that anymore because most people have 07 or they have 2010. So this is the version for that. So here I have it pointed to the right place. I can check and see where it's pointed. It's going to billing memory stick and into that folder, which is exactly what I want. The name and then type, and I'll hit save, and now it's in there. It's saved in there. I know the name has changed because right here in my title bar it has changed to the name I wanted to save it as. Now I can go to the Office button and drop this down and hit close, or I can use a quick key. I prefer quick keys, and the quick key to close a document is Control W. Nice and fast. Going to minimize this to my taskbar so that the program will be open in case I need to use it again, but I don't have to see it right now. Alright, now here is my memory stick. Here's the folder I saved it in, and over here you can see here is the document. If I wanted to, I could change the way it looks in that I could go to details, and now I have the size, I have the type of document, and it tells me the type of the document, and I have the time it's modified. So lots of different ways you can look at it. There's the thumbnail version. Doesn't tell you much. Thumbnails are helpful if you have pictures mostly. I usually look at most everything in details because I usually know when I modified it last, or I know the type or the size it's supposed to be. Hope that helps. Thanks.